3, 2, 1. Welcome to Raw Babes 101.
Bitches.
Your hosts, TT and
KK.
Yay! Hey team.
Here for another episode.
We're just like rocking the episodes, girl.
Honestly, this one was really cool because I often feel like Kristen and I are so connected that like we finish each other's sandwiches and we're talking about what the episode's going to be about. And, oh, thank you. And she's like, what did you call it? What are we calling it?
So, yeah, I messaged you.
Yeah.
I should even say how it happened for me.
Oh.
Right?
Well, yeah. Because I think that's where I was going.
Okay.
And
so
how we're so aligned.
Yeah, you do it.
Yeah.
So, what I texted Tiffany with, I was like, hey, what do you think about doing the episode on rock bottom, falling apart, the tower moments?
I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? This is how we're so aligned. And I'm not in a rock bottom position, but I have a friend that is. And I've been, my husband and I have been there for him. And, it's just all the good things. Like, I'm actually really excited for him. But, he's in his rock bottom.
Yeah.
So I can certainly relate to this because I have been there, and I just finished telling you I will never be in that moment of desperation of whether I should live or not.
Right.
What comes next? Because I've learned all the tools, and that's exactly what we've designed the podcast around. So, Kristen, tell us how the topic came up for you. This is so funny.
It's so crazy. So I knew nothing. I actually knew nothing of what Tiffany was going through and dealing with her friend. So I, this week, was like, what's this episode gonna be about? And I was like looking for signs, and I was really hoping to get some answers, and they just weren't really coming. So then on today, I was like, okay, team. I'm like, spirit team, I'm gonna open myself up and just plant something. Give me something in my brain so I can just flow with it. What's it gonna be? So I'm like thinking about this, and I'm like, I've got friends that are going through some heavy things right now. And then all of a sudden I just sat there and I was like, it was like ding, ding, ding. And I was like, oh my God, okay, this needs to be on like rock bottom. And
but first off, you looked
not yet. So it was like about falling apart, and I was just like, falling apart. I'm like, yes. And I'm literally like going and I'm looking at the time on my phone. Tiffany messaged me and it was 1:11. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay. Say no more. So I messaged Tiff and I'm like, what do you think if we do this on falling apart, rock bottom, blah? She's just like, what the hell, Kristen? She's like, we are so aligned. I can't even blah, blah, blah. And she just writes this thing and I'm like, awesome.
Well, I guess that's what we're working on. That's what we're talking about today.
Now we're here. So we wanted to share the backstory about how we got to this place, because sometimes things don't just come to us right away, and sometimes it's like crunch time and we're not sure, and then we just trust, surrender, and let go. And I'm already so active because I'm so hot right now.
Are you?
Holy, I'm not gonna hug you this time.
I'm wearing a long sleeve shirt, so
you can like wipe off some of my stuff. So yeah, was that the part you were waiting for? Was me to share about the 1:11, or was there something else?
Well, when it comes, there was something else. I had a story that was a really good segue into when we're in a rock bottom place where our mindset can't get out of it, and you're not really able to see outside yourself. You're only seeing the problems in front of you, and it's almost like we're obsessing about them.
Yeah.
But there's like, my story. Okay, my story.
Are we going into it?
Well, I guess so.
I
May
think
as
as
well.
Let's do it. I love it.
I love this. We actually decided this episode we were going to do more of a free flow. So here we go.
Yes.
So my story is, and this happened to me today.
What happened to you today, TT?
So I was with my family, like my husband and my kids today, and we got an email about a week or two ago about this like festival, and my daughter is in lacrosse, and in our municipality it's called the Burrards, and so the email that I got was that it's Burrards Celebration Day, come down barbecue, and we do it every year. And so, but usually that's like at the end of the season, we are kind of in the middle, but I thought, well, whatever, we're still not going to miss it. We're always going to just show up and support the team and the community, and that's just what we do.
Yeah.
So we're in this mindset that we're going to Planet Ice, or the Albion Fairgrounds, to go for this lacrosse celebration that we do every year.
Okay.
We get there, and all of these, like, it's so organized that they've created these gates that you can only drive in.
Okay.
And you can't, there's no fucking around. Like, they are like, no, you need to buy tickets for this.
Okay.
Otherwise, you're not coming in type of thing. And so we were confused, and we thought, okay, well, maybe there's something else going on at the same time. The lacrosse celebration. Yeah, double event.
Ah.
So we're like, okay, where do we park? And she's like, well, what are you here for? And we're like, well, we're here for the Burrards. And so she's like, park over there. So we're like, fucking right. So we got Rockstar parking.
Perfect.
So we go park. We get out of the car. And we start walking towards what seems to be the festival, which is like 900 meters away. And we're walking through. And I'm seeing nobody really that I recognize. All I see is performers.
Oh my gosh.
Someone's on fucking stilts. There's people on horses. There is like these like belly dancers on a stage. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Where's our people? So we start walking towards where we thought we saw lacrosse players. So we walk towards them. There isn't very many of them. And I could see one of the coaches we've seen for years. We never had him as a coach, but it was just like an exchange. Hey, how's it going? Good. He's like, lots of people coming, and I'm like looking around. I'm like,
meanwhile,
where's our people?
Circus.
I'm like, where's our people? I don't get it. So I just, sometimes when I get miscombobulated, I just follow my husband, because he just has got a no fucks given attitude, and I just trust him sometimes.
Sometimes. Whoops.
No, but I do. Like, I just kind of like,
you're
okay,
like, oh, I'm just going to like head down.
I'm going to go with the flow, follow my husband. He knows what the fuck's going on. So we're walking through, and then we pass like everything's by like a gravel road. Okay. As if you were to drive through and see all these things. Okay. So I see a friend of mine, well, an acquaintance, and I'm like, hey, Erin. Shout out to Erin. I'm like, what are you doing here? She's like, well, I'm here with, she's a car saleswoman, and they're there promoting, you know, the deals. And I'm talking to her, and I'm so confused, and I'm like, yeah, I'm so confused. She's like, about what? I'm like, well, usually this event, you know, usually we have it on the other side where there's a field, and there's lots of people, there's barbecue, there's stations, and we like play games and stuff, and none of that's happening. I'm seeing people on fucking stilts, and cowboys, and belly dancers, and there's like a rock climbing guy. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? I don't get it. She's like, well, it's Canada Day, you know that. I'm like, well, yeah, but where's our, I'm like, is this a double event? And she's giving me the most confused look. Like, why is everybody looking at me so confused? So she's like, you know what, girl? You seem like you just need to go with the flow. And I'm like, you're right.
Oh
you're right, Erin.
So
Look, did you see the light?
It just turned on. It's like, okay,
the light just got brighter. So, like literally.
Like a light. Like a light.
On our video, the light just got brighter, but it did get brighter in my head too. Actually, just kidding, it didn't. Not quite yet. So we're gonna go further. My family left me because I'm always talking to somebody. So they're going, and I'm like, I need to go. My family left me. I go up to them. We see this rock climbing guy. We talk to the rock climbing guy, and then all of a sudden, there's this, like those people that run on logs.
Yeah.
Log rollers.
Yeah.
Or whatever. He's on the vlog. We're talking to him. We're walking by. And all of a sudden, all these cars start coming through. And people are like taking out their phones, taking pictures of these people. And it was like a drive-by, but yet we were in the way. We were the only ones walking.
Oh my God.
So then we walk through and we get to the second part of where everybody was driving. Well, that's where all the food trucks are. It's like a goddamn drive-through. The whole event was a COVID-friendly Canada Day celebration, and I had no fucking idea what the fuck was going on.
And you're in the middle.
I was in the middle of it.
You were the show.
We were the only ones on foot, and we were the ones that was confused. And this is what okay, the point of me telling you this story.
Yeah, let's get to the point here. What is
the
it?
point is, we get so focused on what we want to see, we can't fucking see outside of our box. I did it totally unintentionally. I still couldn't believe what I was seeing, even though it was in front of me. I saw what I wanted to see. Yeah. And that has everything to do with the story I just said. Because when we're hitting rock bottom, we can't see outside of us.
Ourselves. We
can't see outside what's in front of us, what we're so fucking focused on. That we're now in the deepest, darkest moments because it's a slippery slide. It's a slippery slide, guys. Slippery
and it's like, here you are, like, focused on nothing to do with is going on. The fact that it's Canada Day, the fact that we got COVID-friendly, and the fact that here's the Callens just rolling
We're
through.
just rolling
You guys are the fucking show. People were buying tickets to see y'all bitches.
It was just the funniest thing, and I couldn't. As we walked towards, like, the food truck area, my husband's like, well, do you think we could still get food? I'm like, I think you need to be in a car, Betty. We're on foot.
Did you guys, did you end up finding the lacrosse? Did you end up getting a car?
There was no lacrosse. Just Berard's team was part of the drive-by.
And that was the
It wasn't
event?
even...
Oh, my God, Tiffany. A day in the life of TT.
And we like arranged our whole day to support our daughter's lacrosse team.
And you guys were right in the middle of
this huge celebration. I was like,
Canada Day.
It just goes to show, like, even though the work and everything is in front of you, like, I love this story. Yeah. So say you're walking in a desert and miles down the road there is a town where you can get water. And you're so fucking thirsty. And you're walking towards this town. You can't see this town. But you're so close to it. You're about to die and you're so focused on the fact that it's so far away. Mm-hmm. You barely make it. But what you did miss was all the cactus down all the way towards the town. You could have cut off an arm on that and had some water. You could have hydrated, but you couldn't do it because you couldn't see outside your fucking problems.
Yeah.
And
so laser focused.
You're so laser focused.
You're missing everything, every tool along the way.
Yeah. And that can happen, obviously, when you're not in rock bottom.
Yeah.
Right when you're trying to celebrate something and I feel like I'm in a pretty good place, but I still could not see. So I can imagine too, Kristen and I have had rock bottom moments, and we're gonna talk a little bit about that and
some juicy juice.
Yeah, some juicy
juice.
Juicy juice.
Yeah. Juicy cake and some juicy tea. Juicy tea.
I hope you guys can resonate with what I just shared there.
That was wild. I was like, oh my God, there's stilts and belly dancers and all. I would have just said to somebody like, hey, what's going on? Where am I?
Yeah.
Am I in another dimension?
That's almost like...
Did I just like swap out of another?
No, I just decided I'm gonna go with the flow. Just like my friend said, she's like, Tiff, I think you just need to go with the flow.
You're like walking like it's hot. I don't even know. I fucked up the song. It's okay.
I like it.
Okay, back to TT. Thanks for sharing. It's always fun to hear your amazing stories.
It's like me explaining my dreams. It's
Yeah.
on and on and on.
No, it's good.
Do a lot of traveling when I'm dreaming or when I'm sleeping.
Yeah, my dreams have been pretty dang vivid.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa. I'm like, holy shit, did I want to remember that? Not really.
And you know, the dreams that I have, like often, like they happen. It's like it's already happened.
Oh, okay.
Like the deja vu thing.
Yeah.
That's a regular occurrence in my life.
So we are talking about rock bottom, falling apart in tarot. If you guys have ever had readings, there are a couple of different decks. Well, there's hundreds of decks out there, but there's an oracle deck, and then we have our traditional tarot. And these are two cards that are, one is called the Tower, and the second is called the Crumbling. And I felt it was a great idea to read them because they will give you guys some incredible messages as to why you're going through rock bottom. And this is what this episode is about. What is the purpose of rock bottom? What is the purpose of going through tragedy, loss, depression, anxiety, divorce, car accidents, illness? Why? Why are we going through this shit? What is this? What is the meaning behind all of this? Like, and in those moments when you feel like you can't go on any longer and you want to reach for your antidepressants, you want to reach for your anxiety medication, you want to shut the world out, you can't go another day because you cannot escape your thoughts. You can't even wake up in the morning with a clear mind. It's instantly black, dark, dead. And you just don't understand how you can get off of this hamster wheel. I have been there. Tiffany has been there time and time again. It has been something that I believe brought us to this place so we can share how the fuck we got off this hamster wheel and what are you going to do about it and why is this happening frickin' to you. And yeah, so let's read the card because I was just going to keep going and going, but I'm just not. So let's read this. It's so powerful. The first one is the Star Child Tarot. Okay,
I'm
guys?
Gonna take my sweater off for you.
Okay.
Do this because I'm getting hot.
Yeah, I'm so super hot right now. Like, just done. You guys, this episode is powerful for anyone going through anything. It's going to be here for you whenever you need it. And you know that you're listening to this not by a coincidence. So just know you're not alone and know that there is always a light at the end of the tunnel. You may not see it today, but these situations are definitely happening for you. Your team is supporting you. You have way more support than you could ever even imagine. It's fucking powerful, and it's happening for you for a really big reason, but we will get to that shortly. So the Tower card, if you ever get the Tower, I watch a lot of tarot on YouTube, and I have my favorite people, and a lot of the times I'm like, a tarot card will be pulled, and it's the Crumbling or a Tower, and I'm like, fuck, I don't want a Tower moment, please, like, I just don't want another Tower moment. I'm just not ready. I'm like, no. And
too bad.
Yeah, and that's exactly what your team is going to say and do. Maybe not say, but what it's going to do is, sorry, carpet's getting ripped out from under you. This is your redirection. So let's hear it, baby.
All right, peeps. The Tower card, the message of it is the Tower indicates a period of complete or sudden change. You may experience a sense of insecurity or loss as if your world has been flipped upside down. This can also denote situations in which the mind, body, and spirit are not working in harmony due to passive or unhealthy life choices. Rigid thinking, isolation, or ignoring the challenges along the way may inevitably reach a breaking point. The Tower encourages you to examine old patterns or systems of belief, leading to fresh perspectives that are transformational and positive in the long run. This card may also indicate a breakthrough in consciousness, which allows you to recognize your own personal growth through purging the unnecessary burdens of in your life. What is the greater lesson to be learned here? Know that for every difficult situation we face, we are forced to grow from experience. Liberation comes from letting go and moving forward. And sometimes to do this, we have to hit a low point. Without the dark, there is no light. Now, should I keep going for that?
Just right there, and then that's it.
Oh, okay, this is just like something that you might say to yourself. I am ready to face my own feelings throughout the stress and chaos. Or am I ready to face my own feelings throughout the stress and chaos? What have I learned from this experience? How will I cope with these energies? Yeah.
Perfect.
Wow.
Yeah, so the tower moments are 100% for us, and I think the best thing to do right now is just share with you a tower moment that happened to me in my life.
Yes.
Because without having something to relate to, it's a lot harder to be like, hey, I understand, because guess what? A lot of you may be going through this or may have experienced this in your life. So I've gone through lots of tower moments, and I'm fucking so grateful for them. Just want to say this now. So what I'm about to share with you, there is no anger, resentment. I am not angry, nothing, okay, at all. I'm grateful as fuck for them.
Did you almost pull back from the thing?
I did. I don't know why. I was like, okay.
Okay,
just because I
no holding back here, okay?
Okay.
Come on, let it out, girl.
Are you guys ready for this? I'm going to tell you.
Ready?
You guys, I'm Sharon. I'm Kristen, but I'm Sharon. Okay. Whew. Hot. Okay. One of the biggest tower moments in my life that happened for me, but I didn't understand at the time, I had the biggest fear. The biggest fear of my life was being cheated on. Biggest fear. Didn't want to get cheated on. I obsessed over it. That was it. It was just the number one thing that I never wanted to happen to me in my life. So.
And why not?
Well, who wants to be cheated on?
But why was that such a...
Oh, why? So I figured out why that was like the biggest fear, is because I placed that as if my partner cheated on me, then I would have to leave. So that was my conditioning, what I grew up with in my family, that I was taught this is how you need to be, and if you're in a relationship, blah, 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 you don't cheat. That was conditioning within myself, which a lot of people play by those rules where their partner, they decide, you know what, we both don't want to cheat on each other, let's be completely faithful, you get married. That's just what that's what we've been taught.
Well, it's considered infidelity.
It is considered.
Marriage is like monogamy and...
Yeah. And that's a choice. Some people totally have open relationships. Some people have shit, bring other people into their bedroom. All that stuff doesn't matter, and there's zero judgment. But what happened to me in my life was the craziest moment that I had ever experienced. So I will never forget that moment, and I will never forget that time, the feelings, the emotions, everything that came up. So that was the biggest rock bottom. When I found out the extent of the cheating that went on and what happened in my relationship, I was told, and it was so crazy, it blew my mind. So not only was it the fact of being cheated on, but the person took someone else away on a holiday while I was in Las Vegas. So I was in Vegas with my best friend. I had no idea that the person that I was with was also on a holiday in Mexico while I was in Las Vegas. So I came home. There was actually some kind of like fears and feelings that I had because some things were a little bit off. And I was like, my intuition was like fire. And my intuition, you guys, I just want to say this, has always been on. Always. But I wasn't listening to it. I was suppressing it. I was pushing it down, and I was like, no. I'm like, that can't be true. And I was just like, denial. Majority of the time, that's what you're going to say. Majority of the time, ladies and gentlemen, we go into denial mode, and we don't want to see clearly with eyes of love. We're going to just fucking put rose-colored glasses on, and we're going to decide to choose to see what we want to really see, and then just lie to ourselves continuously all the fucking time. So when I actually found this out, this was months later. No, had no clue. Months later, I was told, and that moment in my life, you couldn't have even prepared me for that. My whole entire being, I was like, there's no way. This isn't possible. I was like shocked. My heart like was pumping through its chest. I felt sick. I wanted to like freak out. It was brutal. Like having the worst fear happen to you was just like, there it was in my face. Like you cannot push that down. You cannot make it up. It can't be a lie. This is like serious shit. And I know any of you guys listening to this, if you get triggered from this topic, I really want you to sit with it right now. Like whatever feelings come up for you, sit with it and feel it, because it's your opportunity for you to finally feel it and acknowledge it and let it go, because we suppress so much of this. We suppress the betrayal, we suppress the denial, we suppress the sadness. Let it live, finally. Just like let it come up to the surface, feel the feeling, and just sit with it. We want to like turn on our chatter and go cheat cheat and start talking, but there's no need for that. Just feel. So this was my redirection, guys. The biggest motherfucking redirection that I could have ever had that I fucking didn't want. I didn't want that. Who wants that? I wasn't ready for it. I was ready for it. I needed it. So what did that do? That opened up this huge possibility of my life to go into my counselor, went into counseling, and fucking deep diving. I had to look at so many things that I didn't want to look at within myself, within the relationship. And the thing is, I just want to share, like, when cheating happens, do not think it's you. Do not think you're not pretty enough, cute enough, skinny enough, attractive enough,
It
wild
happened
enough.
to Beyonce. Come on.
Perfect.
Chick's a babe.
Exactly.
Who wouldn't want that?
Who
And I
always
who would want to
that.
wake up to that
Next to
morning?
them. Exactly.
Jesus.
And this is when you know it has nothing to do with the partner, please. Like, and even about the shame and the guilt associated with your partner, like what the partner's holding on to, you gotta let that go too. Like, they are doing their own, they're doing it for themselves, and they're doing it because they have their own stuff that's coming up that they're not ready to look at and that they're just suppressing.
Yeah.
And they're trying to fulfill something that isn't fulfilled within themselves. So you seek it externally. I didn't understand that at the time. So back to the carpet getting ripped out from under me. Anxiety, depression, not good enough, just really went into the cycle, to that pattern. But what I did do was deep dive with Lisa. Like, and this, you guys, was, so I'm 34. This was over 10 years ago. I was in my early 20s, okay? Over 10 years ago. So this is a long time ago. And like I said, no resentment, no anger, just grateful. Because that moment of my life that was the most, it took months, like no lie. It took months for me to get the images out of my mind, replaying it like that old movie. We're just sitting there suffering, and we're just like suffering more and more. It's like, why am I doing that to myself? It's gone. It's not there anymore.
Well, I
It's
think
in the
a lot
past.
of it is like, that's what's the playing in your head over and over again, is trying to understand it.
That's right.
Why?
Instead of feeling it,
Mm-hmm.
acknowledging that it's happened and not being in denial. And this is the trick. This is like the biggest tip ever. That monkey brain, all it's doing is avoiding feeling the feelings and avoiding you from seeing your true self. It was keeping me so distracted. I was so distracted by my partner and what they were up to. It was my tactic to stay away from looking at my shadow, to stay away from looking at my childhood, to stay away from feeling the trauma and the triggers that I had when I was a little fucking girl. I avoided everything I could possibly ever avoid by being and choosing a partner that had so much going on. And I subconsciously chose that without knowing why I chose that. And I chose that type of a partner to keep me so motherfucking distracted from this chick, because I didn't want to see my shadow and I didn't want to see the darkness. I wanted to avoid it. So that carpet being ripped out from under me and going through that horror, I can say with like the strongest, bravest face and the freaking my warrior cape on, thank you. It was for me. It was for me 150 billion%. And I'm so grateful that happened. And I am like, say it even to him that I'm very grateful for my entire story and relationship, because it pushed me to evolve, to get to this place, to now be able to share with anybody who's going through their rock bottom.
And it'll never happen to you again.
And it won't. You know why it won't happen to me ever again?
Why, KK?
Because I've already gone through it. When you've already gone through something, you will never relive it the same again.
Never.
Ever. And
even if it's like the same type of scenario, it's going to be a little bit different.
You got it.
Right?
You got it.
That's where it's a little bit deceiving. That's why you kind of hang on to that hope that things are going to be different, because it seems different. It's not like it was exactly last time.
Yeah. And you're going to be able to walk through life with your eyes wide open instead of so fucking shut. My eyes were so shut. I was like, man, I'm not seeing. I'm just going to pretend and slip that under the carpet. But I can see clearly now, and I'm grateful for it. And what happens with people when they're going through the word I'm looking for. Trauma. Yes, thank you. Trauma. Please don't cave. That's your opportunity to evolve and reach for that help. The counselor, the Reiki healer, the intuitive healers. That's your window of opportunity. If we go into this even deeper on a spiritual level, like way deeper, remember, we chose this. We chose very special moments to get our carpet ripped out from under us, to redirect us back on the path. I wasn't on my path. I was not on my path.
You got redirected. Well, that was a lesson that, so all the lessons that we have and that we're learning are just ones that's what we need to learn.
Yes.
But we haven't learned it yet.
We haven't learned it yet, and this is our lifetimes that we keep coming back for.
Yeah.
If you didn't learn it, guys, okay, perfect example. If I didn't learn that, TT, I would have just been coming back around again to do it again. I don't want to fucking do that again.
Hell no.
No thanks.
Mm-mm.
I'm like, I'll learn it. Okay, I surrender. Yeah. I'm going to heal from that and accept 100%.
Don't you notice, though, the lessons that you've learned just never seem to happen again?
Yeah, because it's like, oh, check that off, on to the next.
It'll never happen again.
Yeah, because it's already done.
Yes.
Oh, interesting enough, though, since we're talking about this. So I did the healing, you guys, after that moment. I only went just as far enough into my shadow as I was ready for. And guess what I did? I went back in the relationship.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I wasn't ready to see and to look at what was really far under that carpet. Mm-hmm. I was like, that is too big. I'm going to put my glasses back on. I'm going to turn around and I'm going to stay where it's comfortable and what I know.
And then it happened again.
multiple times.
And again.
And again.
And again.
Because why, Tiffany?
Because you didn't learn your lesson.
Exactly.
Oh.
I was more comfortable staying stagnant, in fear, holding on to my trauma, with my backpack on my fucking back, walking through life with the drama. Because you know why? It was bigger than myself to look at what I didn't want to see. So time goes on, carpet's getting ripped out, carpet gets ripped out, until finally you decide to step up and face your fears. And I did that. And I had to look. And that's going to be, just so everybody knows, I know everyone's going to be like, shit, I want to know more. Tiffany and I are going to be doing like full stories on ourselves of childhood up into these moments. And I want to share with you guys what I was avoiding. There was some big stuff that happened to me when I was about 11, 12 that I just shoved under the carpet and I put a nice bow on it and I'm like, that's staying there, I'm not touching that. And that pretty much guided me on my path of avoidance from that moment on. And depression happened and all that kind of stuff. So I 100% want to share at another time. I know you're like, I want to know. But I'm definitely going to share it on...
It'll probably look like a series of some
It's going to be a series because it's just too much.
Yeah.
And it's going to help a lot of people because you're just not going to feel fucking alone. Because I was too scared to share it. I was too afraid to talk about it. I couldn't even say it to my counselor. That's how afraid I was of the dark shadows. So, on another episode, to be continued.
To be continued.
We will go there. But we wanted to stay on this tower rock bottom topic. So let's do it. The time is flying. Oh my shit.
I know, it's flying.
I was just going to read this little baby bit. Or did you want to go into that?
No.
You want to do yours, right?
What about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, what is rock bottom? Rock bottom, or even the feeling of rock bottom. That feeling is like, you know that feeling, Tiffany, which you know, when you're like, oh my God, that's depression. I'm starting to spiral. I'm starting to go there. I don't want to go there.
I know what it feels like.
Yeah, that feeling is scary. So what is rock bottom or that feeling? So I wanted to describe what the feeling is I'm talking about. That your life is falling apart. Well, let me tell you, when you experience my kind of sudden change, it wasn't supposed to be mine, any kind of sudden change, devastation, or shock, or maybe it's to do with addiction. You just found out, maybe you lost your job. These are all examples of a crisis, the crumbling or tower moment in our lifetime. We will all experience these tragedies. These are all things that are meant for us.
It's kind of normal.
It is normal.
It's normal to go through these things.
It is normal, and it is,
you have to.
It's
just part of being human.
The moment you can surrender and accept, the moment you become free. The moment you face that fear, that thing that I was avoiding from 11 years old, I faced it. I looked it straight in the eyes. I talked about it. It dissolved. And I said, what the fuck? I have been dealing with this for 20-something years. Sorry, I was 33 when I decided to talk about it. 33, you guys. Holding on to this thought that wasn't even me for that many years and suffering. Please listen to what I'm saying to you. Face that fear. I know it's scary, and I know that thought, if you ever say it, you don't want it to be true and you don't want it to be who you are. You aren't that. So just say it, talk about it to somebody that you trust or a counselor that's not going to go and repeat it, and she's going to go, what? This isn't you. This isn't who you are. You've been holding on to that for this long. It's hard. It's scary, and it's like your worst fear coming true. So just trust me. Talk about it. Talk about it with me. Talk about it with Tiffany. I'm fucking here. I will hold space for you over and over and over again.
100%. Yes.
Let's do it. Let's read it.
Woo! Okay. So Rebecca Campbell is one of our favorites.
Yes.
Artwork by Danielle Noel. This is Work Your Light, Oracle cards. We have the crumbling. Is what are you clinging on to? Okay, guys. You want to show the card up there?
What I was just clinging on to for 30 years. No, 20 years.
So this would be something that you're clinging on to, and then the tower will be like, hi, wake up.
It's like pushing you over off of a fucking cliff, and you're falling, and there's a tiny ass trampoline that catches you, and you're like, what the fuck just happened?
My ass is way bigger than that thing.
I love you.
So the crumbling, what are you clinging on to? There's a shift happening right now where anything authentic can no longer survive. Relationships, jobs, social structures, anything built on shaky ground is designed to tumble down. It's happening to bring you back home to who you truly are, both individually and society as a whole. So you can live a life that is in alignment with who you truly are. When you're in the thick of it, it can feel like a personal attack from the universe.
Yes.
But have faith, because the difficult times will be your defining moments. You will be reborn in the fire. You're being called to surrender. Stop trying to hold it all together. Loosen your grip. To let the crumbling occur, it might be difficult at first, but in the end, the sooner you let go, the sooner rebirthing will occur. What are you trying to hold together? What are you doing your best to avoid? How are you trying to pretend everything's okay? You have what it takes to allow what is falling away to tumble and fall. Once the tower has crumbled, you will be able to rebuild your home on solid ground with mighty foundations and a view that is so magnificent it'll take your breath away with every new morning. Kali, the goddess of destruction, and the Black Madonna are here with you now.
Yes.
Lay it all on their altar.
Yes.
They can hold it all.
They can hold it all.
So what are you clinging on to for fear of nothing coming to take its place?
That's it. You hold on to the person, the place, or the thing so tightly because you're in fear that, oh my gosh, this person's not going to be in my life anymore. I said if somebody cheats, I was just going to leave. I didn't fucking leave, you guys. I didn't. It took a long, long, long time because I wasn't ready, and that's okay. But the biggest thing I just want to share, I wasn't on my true path. I was not anywhere close to being on my true path. You think about it, the tower moments have to happen. I wouldn't be standing and sitting here with Tiffany talking about it. I would be...
No, when this happens, you guys, it's mainly because you're not doing self-care. You're not understanding who you are as a person.
Yes.
And you only actually get to learn who you are as a person is when you do self-care. So taking time out for you. Treat your body like the temple that it is. Yeah. There's a lot of like down moments and stuff when this happens. There is a chemical imbalance happening, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
But we all have free will, and there is a lot that's probably that you're consuming, that your lifestyle is inhabiting this way of thinking to be. So there really needs to be, until you come clear and take responsibility and learn, you're never going to get to that place where you're breaking that cycle that you're playing in over and over and over again. But the only thing I would really encourage you to do is, yes, obviously listen to our podcast because we're the fucking bomb. But guys, learn a little bit about what codependency is. Learn a little bit about your truth. What is it that you're trying to deny? Know this. The things that you're avoiding because it's so painful, you're living a lifetime of pain rather than just dealing with it, suffering for a day or two, and be gone.
Fuck yes, sister!
What are you putting the stake in the ground so deep for? What are you hanging on to? It's not serving you. What? Why is it that we're so fucking afraid of change? Why are we so afraid of the unknown? You know you're here to live a life worth living. That's the whole point. So what are you holding back from?
Yeah.
Why? This life is about learning the lessons and sharing them. That's what we're doing here.
Yeah.
We're sharing the lessons. But
Not playing small. There's no time anymore.
No, guys.
There's
Time
no
to wake the fuck up.
Wake
Stop
up.
putting yourself in this tiny place where you could be playing so much bigger. And I'm telling you right now, codependency issues are huge in these roles because you can't understand why. And it's because of your own behaviors and the little things that you're not choosing to bring to the surface. Yep. And when you're constantly trying to please somebody and you're constantly being disappointed, if that's not rude enough for you, you just wait, because that carpet's going to be so big, and when it gets ripped off from underneath you, it gets thrown right back over your head and back. And you fucking stay there until you learn lessons.
It's true. You will circle. I call it circle jerk, man.
You're
going to circle jerk around.
Sorry.
You are going to circle jerk. We had to bring a little fun into it.
Yeah,
we had to.
Yeah,
because
we're jerk off the air.
Yeah, that's
awesome.
Okay. So, yeah, you're going to fucking circle jerk right back around to be circle jerked again. Right in your face.
And sometimes these things are so subtle. And
so
we're like, everything's fine. The life I'm living that I want to live, and being in denial, trying to have so much control over things, you lose thought of who you are and where your moral compass actually stands. Like, if you were your higher self now that you are,
yeah, thank you.
You would never fucking do that. Ever. Never. Even like my stories, my rock bottoms, I was not my true authentic self. I wasn't listening to my intuition. No. I was ignoring all of that and
signs.
Just going with the flow. But forgiveness. It's just like such bullshit. I don't know if we can get through to my story yet, but
for time?
Yeah, for time wise. Yeah, we're already at 47 minutes. Jesus Christ.
We might need to like half your beginning story and put in your freaking story.
Maybe we just
Yeah,
maybe we just do a part 2.
We can, because we have. No, it's going to be a part 2, guys.
You're right. It's done deal. We just go with the flow here. There's nothing wrong with going with the flow. But we want to be listening to our intuition and be a little bit grounded when we do the go with the flow. And obviously keep your eyes open to the possibilities of endlessness. You know what, you guys? Sharing is fucking caring. And I want to share, and Tiffany wants to share our own personal experiences, because it's not just fluffy hearsay, she says stuff. This is real deal. And like, this is a page from my book, and it's a big ass fucking chapter. And it's painful.
It is painful, but it's not anymore. And I want to share it with you guys because I'm complete. I'm clear and I'm complete with it. And I don't have anger or animosity towards him at all. I am telling you, like, I don't want people to look at it like, oh, poor her or this. No, good for her. Fucking look at like what I've taken you got woke to wake up. Yeah, you got woke. It's a dick in a box. It's a dick in a box. So, yes, please, we are with you. If you're going through something that's quite tragic, just know we're here. Okay, hold on a second. So, we got this. I feel like I really wanted to, and even though we're going to do a sequel here, I think we should pull these cards out. Back into the deck, always. You took the words right out of my mouth. What, girl? So you know what's cool about this is it's quite liberating and freeing to be able to talk about this stuff. I have wanted to share so much of my own experiences with you, but I had to be ready and I had to just go, fuck it. You know what? I'm going to talk about this shit because it's going to help so many people. Yes. And I was like, it was another layer that I had to remove to be able to go, of course I can share this. This is awesome information to help. Well, I want to
I'm going to share a little bit of what I wrote down here because I think it's a really good way to end the podcast aside from pulling some cards.
Okay. I'm going to pull this one after. Just this one.
I'm going to assume that everybody has experienced imposter syndrome, called IS. And I've probably, maybe I'll feel this way again, but I distinctly remember feeling imposter syndrome when I was trying to work through my healing and my pain and the trauma that I had gone through in my life and my rock bottom. Coming out of that, I felt like I had imposter syndrome. And this is a very real thing because sometimes we are looking so too close, too deep in our heads. We're thinking, who the fuck are we to think? Who the fuck are we? When you think of yourself in the future as your higher self, you could possibly think, who the hell am I to think that I'm capable of doing that? Mm-hmm. So imposter syndrome, what is that?
Yeah, what is it, TT? Can you tell me, Mama? I love you.
You do.
I really do.
Okay, imposter syndrome refers to an internal experience of believing that you are not as competent as others perceive you to be. While this definition is usually narrowly applied to intelligence and achievement, it has links to perfectionism and the social context. So we're also socially led to believe that we should be a certain way. Like conditioned. We're socially conditioned to believe certain things, which simply are not true. They're just there's so much bullshit out there, and I love people are like, oh, you could just like make up the truth. Like people are so creative, and it's like, yeah, Star Wars.
Oh my God,
that could be true. Okay,
it could be.
Sure,
it could. Who knows?
Why not?
Right?
Totally. So then why can't you be the better self that
because you fucking can.
Right? So we are our own director, narrative writer, actor
of our movies.
What
you seek you will find. Mm-hmm. Go look for blue cars after this.
If you have imposter syndrome and you do not feel like, and when you have, let me go back. When you have imposter syndrome, you feel less than you really are and who you really are. So don't think for a second you're not capable of doing these things. My intuition screamed so loud when I started first podcasting. I thought, who the fuck am I? Who the fuck am I to think that I am that important that I think people are going to listen to me?
That's so...
Who the fuck do I think I am?
So limiting. Like, such a limiting belief, TT.
Isn't that ridiculous?
Ridiculous. And we all do it all the time. All the time.
I'll never do it again.
No.
I'll never do it again.
No.
Because now I know myself so well. And I know it well enough to know that I know what I like and I know what I don't like, but I also love to experience things. So that's why I'm kind of a yes woman.
Yeah, like that you've never experienced before.
Yes. So I love new things. Yeah, and change. I don't mind change.
Same. You just flow with it now. And it's like the unknown is magical now. So it's like, it's not scary for me anymore. I'm like, look how many positive things have come from the unknown. Exactly. I had no idea what was going to happen after I left a 17-year relationship. I had no idea that Tiffany would come to me about a podcast. This was all the unknown. So instead of looking at a divorce or a separation as, oh my God, that's the unknown, look at it as, holy shit, there's possibilities over on the other side, and this is change, a redirection.
And you're capable of it.
Yes,
you have all the tools that you need, and if you don't have them and you have the drive to still do it, learn them.
Yeah.
Learn the tools.
I posted this thing on Instagram today about dance, and people reached out. They're like, I'm doing it. I'm facing my fear. I'm getting out of my shell. And I'm fucking do that, because on the other side, it's the unknown. Don't give yourself these limiting beliefs that lead you into such dark holes.
Yes.
Fucking just jump on it.
Don't do what we did. Hey, no, just kidding. Obviously, you kind of need to.
Yeah.
You got to go through these things.
You got to go through it.
I just can't say that I'll ever get to the low point that I had before. I'm not saying the carpet's not going to get ripped out from underneath me. Obviously, look what happened today.
It always will.
But yeah, my best friend died last year. Like, I didn't know that was going to happen. Christina's husband died. Yeah. She was our third partner. We didn't know that she wasn't going to be in the show. Like, it just... But we now have learned the tools on how to cope with these things so we don't spiral out of control.
That's right.
And that's really where it is. So if you're in a deep fucking dark rock bottom, it's just because you haven't quite done the work yet. You're only doing what you know.
That's right. So how to change it.
Yeah.
And look at mind, body, and soul.
Yeah.
Please reach out. Like, this is what I do. I do this with all my clients, and it's all about talk therapy, nutrition, and changing the ways and the conditioning. It's like half of what we're eating is affecting our brain for depression and anxiety, on top of limiting beliefs and on top of old patterns and conditioned. We are conditioned from our parents. They are conditioned from their parents, and so on and so forth. And so it is. So let's uncondition ourselves. Let's unfuck ourselves, and let's get back into the driver's seat of our life and be the director and the actor and the script writer and own your shit.
Wow, Kristen.
Woo!
We've been doing a lot of high fives lately.
Yes, we have.
Pretty funny.
Really good energy.
We've gotten really good at it, because I think in the beginning we'd miss sometimes.
Yeah, but now we're just
on it. We're on it. I want to quickly just I want to share someone that I want to recommend, a podcast that I've been listening to the last couple of years. It's called Unfuck Your Brain. It's from Carl Lowenthal. She is a Harvard law student she's a law student who graduated from Harvard. But all the work that she does is all about how the brain works, why we think what we think, how to undo these subconscious thoughts and help understand them a little bit, and how to move past them. She's fucking brilliant. She's got lots going on. I've only ever even dabbled into her work, but I can't stop following her. I even listened to her on the way here. Some really good tips, and I've even sent my husband her podcast. It's just so much good information. I highly recommend it. We'll put it in the show notes. Kristen, these cards are going crazy.
Whoa.
Okay, we've had this card before.
Protection.
Okay, guys, protection. Call back your power. Cut the cords. Soul retrieval.
This aligns perfectly.
That's so weird. This is what we pulled last week.
No, not
was
last
it last week?
No,
the week before?
It was a couple weeks.
It was a couple weeks?
Yeah. You guys, this is it.
Interesting.
You also could have a lot of cords that's attached to others, and from your past, get those cords cut. Go to Reiki. Come and see me. Come and freaking talk to us. We can direct you in the right direction.
Yes.
There is cords and your soul. Like, call it back. Like, claim your power. Ask for some guidance. Your team is ready and willing whenever you call on them. They're there for a reason.
Here's another quick thing too. When we're cutting off the cord, or say like you are in a certain state and you're sitting at a certain vibration, certain energy, you attract like-minded people, and now you're at home and in situations, and now you're feeling the feelings, and you can't understand where they're coming from, why. Can you ask yourself, is it even yours? Yeah. Is it even yours? It might not be. It could be from someone that you shared your energy with. It could be so far down your heritage line. It could be from your mother, your grandmother, your past life, your father, your deceased family, because these things actually get passed down through your bloodline for generations and generations. Yes, they do. Imagine yourself cutting the energy cord and claiming your own, and letting go of anything that just does not serve you. It is not yours. Yeah. Okay, I have to do that often.
And fill it back up with something else. So envision like love and light. Envision like filling it up with gold, sparkles, whites, whatever you want it to be, fill it back up. Don't leave it empty because that just leaves room for it to be filled back up with somebody else's shit.
That's right.
Guys, we absolutely have to do a part 2 on this. We are ending it now. We love you, and check back next week. We're going to do it with part 2.
Woo, woo.
Love you.
Love you all. Bye now. Boom. Good job, guys.
Good job. Whoop, whoop. That was...
It's a tough one.
Woo.
It's a tough one. It definitely deserves a part 2 because we actually have a list of
next level stuff. So it's going to be like 12 reasons as to why hitting rock bottom is the best thing that has ever happened to you. And I got some wicked notes, Tiffany and I, on this incredible woman who leads a lot of courses and does different things with amazing tips and tricks. And we want to obviously share it with you guys. So thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate your love and support. And thanks for holding space for us to talk about our own past.
Yeah.
Our own shit. Love you.
Love
Cut
you guys.
it out. Bye.